Well, hey everyone. In the video that I shared with you last week, you saw where we were getting buried with snow. The weather report was calling for 12 to 15 inches in the higher elevations, and we got over 40. As you can see from the footage that I shared with you, we were getting clobbered. We were stuck up here on the mountain. Weren't even attempting to go anywhere, just stayed in. We have everything we need. We have firewood, we have food, we have cheese and wine, all the comforts of life. And we just hunkered down and really enjoyed it. The slow down was really, really good for us. It was nice just to be away from my projects, read a book, nod off, do a little more reading, nod off some more. Go outside, throw toys for Tildy, come on in, snack, nod off. It was actually a really good experience. And when we look back on our life up here on the mountain, we will say, remember that last winter up on the mountain? We got snowed in and blah, blah. It's all good stuff. And we thought we were over with it because life is kind of getting back to normal now. But the weather report is calling for upwards of 15 inches of snow this weekend. If there's any truth to what they're saying about March, if it comes in like a lion, it goes out like a lamb. This going out like a lamb stuff can start anytime. The storm is finally over. With temperatures coming up, the snow is going down and making traveling on the mountain a whole lot easier. One of my little trail markers. There's some tracks of a snowshoe here. I think they're getting at their low point in their cycle. Now I'm not seeing them as much as normal. I love the spruce and the snow. Been seeing weasel tracks more often. I have weasels that come in the yard. They go under the camp and underneath the outhouse, and they hunt mice, and they're beneficial. And I have never had a problem. I've never had a problem with them after the chickens. And of course, he goes down to the pen and kills the chicken and steals its head. Left the chicken behind and ate its head. I had to take care of that. It feels so good to have the sun on my face for a change. It was really cloudy, real gray, smoky sky this morning. Kind of looked like someone was burning trash or tires or something, and there's nothing like that happening here. It's just a typical sky now from all of the ridiculous tactics that they use to cool the planet and slow global warming. But anyway, it was shitty out, so I decided I was going to take today just to do video. I was sitting at my desk, and after a couple hours of that, I saw that it was getting sunny. And we got some blue sky and a little bit of sun. Look at that. Such a rarity these days. So anyway, I'm heading out. I'm going to snowshoe some trails to some natural cubbies that I have in the woods. And on another day, I will set up my trail cameras and hopefully get some cool footage of some critters for you. So I'm going to get out, get some sun, get some exercise, and hopefully it'll be sunny during my whole journey. It is pretty out right now. I think one of my cubbies is over here. After the weasel took the head off the chicken. I salvaged a bunch of meat off of the bird and we ate that night. But I have the rest of the bird, so I'll get out here and I'll try again for some close-ups of a bobcat. I did get a bobcat over at the bush camp one day, but still not the footage I'm looking for. I'd like to get something real close during the day of a bobcat. And I haven't succeeded in that yet. Here there are these little tracks coming down the hill. Yeah. It's a snowball. I didn't make it. Just a clump of snow fell off the spruce tree and then rolled on down. There's a little one there, and this one kept on going. Kept on going and left it right there. Yeah, but those look like little critter tracks, doesn't it? That's just a little tree here playing tricks. Well, this sucks. My snowshoe just broke and it's flopping around. It's barely connected to my foot. Look at that. Can't walk like that. This thing broke right off. These snowshoes have been breaking a little at a time. Now it's really breaking. My bush camp's out that way. I'm going to try and limp my way over to the bush camp. I think I have some rope over there, I'm not sure. But try to do a cob job repair so I can at least get back to the camp without struggling too much. Huh? All right, here we go. Look at this. It's barely hanging off of my foot. If I just go slow like this, and try not to do that, I'll be able to get there. Here we go. It'll be a long trip. I was going to take my big old-fashioned snowshoes so I'd stay up on top of the snow more, and instead I took these and now I'm regretting it. Let's see what we got to fix the problem. A coffee can full of nails, flat bar, hatchet, hammer. That'll help. Got bubble foil. You never know when you're going to need bubble foil. I found a little piece of crappy clothesline, and that fits through the hole. So I think I can get a repair here. That goes through there. That's on top. Maybe I get a knot tied in that. And then another one around here. Maybe once again through there. Another knot. All right. While I'm at it, I might as well do something to secure this stuff. I've had these snowshoes for 25 years or better, and they've had a lot of wear and tear, and now they're tearing apart. They need a complete overhaul, but for now, for better or for worse, a cob job will have to do. I don't know if that knot will stay. What do you think, folks? Bush camp repair. Yeah.
So these are herbs we grew in our garden. I just wrap them up in a towel and put them up on a high shelf and let them dry, and I just use them as I need them. Getting a little down on my rosemary. I'm getting down to just stems here, but it served us well.
Well, I can really smell that.
Yeah. We're gonna use this in a rub. And this is the parsley we grew. We're not gonna use that today, but it's nice and dry and ready to be crumbled. Look at that. It dehydrates so good this way.
It does, it really does.
Everybody's got their own method, but I just wrap it in a towel and put it inside a cupboard up on a shelf where it's warm and dry. And then I use them as I need them.
What are you talking about, miss? You don't know? Mama's cooking.
Stay home, get some meals ahead.
These are going to slow roast in the oven. And she's going to get these sausages and that piece of pork cooked. Because over here, she's got a spaghetti sauce started. So, come supper time, we'll have some choices.
So time to put these in the oven.
Yep.
It's gonna make the most of a day at home and a
Yep.
good cooking fire.
So we have a real slow fire in the stove today because it's mild outside. And the oven is nice and low, which is actually perfect for slow roasting. So that pork is going to slow roast in there all day long.
Tildy's been trying to tell you that as soon as that pork comes out of the oven, when the sausage is done, we're going to put that up here into the sauce pot, and that'll simmer for the rest of the day. Most likely we'll have the ribs for supper tonight. That good idea, Tildy? So we'll have the ribs for supper tonight. We'll put the sausage and one of the ribs in here to simmer, and we'll have that for tomorrow.
Does that work with you, Til? Does that work? What do you want? Look at those.
Wow.
Wow,
Perfection.
that's right.
That's a good supper right there.
It is. Well, as you can see, things are starting to get back to normal here on the mountain. To some degree, anyway. Lori is healing up nice. She can't help me with the shoveling. In fact, she can't help me much with the dishes either. But that's all right. She's able to do other things and stays busy and preparing some pretty darn good left-handed meals. And that pork that you saw that we slow roasted, we had just let the fire go out that day, and it slow roasted all day, and it was just so, it was as good as it looked. Oh, it was just fantastic. That kitchen queen does such a great job. And I'm not talking about Lori. So, I'm glad that storm is over with. That was quite a doozy. But like I said, we just hunkered down and enjoyed the time here. And as soon as it stopped snowing, the temps came up. And all that powdery snow we got was starting to get sticky really fast. 2 snowmobiles went by. A couple of good mountain sleds, you know, with the long tracks and the deep paddles. Went by, and once the center was packed down, we were able to go down the mountain with the Ranger. But before that, I had the Ranger out here in the yard making several passes back and forth, packing that snow down, and it was compressing really good because it was wet and sticky. But I went back and forth several times out here, and it packed down so we could walk around and do my chores much easier than floundering around in all that deep snow. And that Ranger is quite a rig for that. It may have gone down the mountain okay in that powder, but I wasn't going to take the chance. We didn't need to go anywhere, so we just stayed home. Yeah, so the snow is starting to slide off of the greenhouse roof here, and probably by tomorrow, well, we're going to get a little bit more snow. That snowstorm that I mentioned in the beginning of this video, we were supposed to get upwards of 15 inches, and I hadn't checked the weather report, and it changes daily, and Lori just told me that it was knocked down to 3 to 5 inches. Yeah, I can handle that all right. So hopefully pretty soon here, spring will do its thing, and in a few weeks they'll be starting seeds here in the greenhouse and getting things greening up once again, and I'm really looking forward to that. So that's it for now, folks. All the best to you, and God bless.
Frankie and the boss out walking in the woods, living life happy and free. Tracks in the snow everywhere they go. There's a porky way up in that tree. A beaver built a pond where they have some fun, taking life a day at a time. Best friends until the end. Frankie and the boss. Frankie and the boss. Frankie and the boss.